Hello, I have Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA from New Belgium. Had never had this one. I've had a couple of the Voodoo Ranger series. Not the regular one, I don't think. So this is kind of going to be a little shaken up because I just dropped it. So this is 9% alcohol. It uses Bravo, Calypso, Centennial, I think Cascade maybe too. Yep, a little foamy. That's alright. Yeah, 6 different hops. Mosaic. And a weird malt combo of just pale malt and then black malt. I don't know what that means, black. Is it roasted barley? Is it black patent? So just like a dash to give it some color. But nothing described as, caramel malt or crystal. And I think this has been around for several years now. And the Best By date is March 7th next year. Today is November 11th. So I'm thinking this is probably only a little over a month old, which is pretty fresh for a Voodoo Ranger. I also got it from the variety pack, the winter variety pack that just came out. So it's nice to have some actually fresh New Belgium beer. And as you can see, that is pretty pale. Definitely paler than like Sierra Nevada, and Stone, a lot of Stone IPAs, because the lack of the use of crystal malt. And yeah, really big head because it got shaken up quite a bit. But it's kind of normal carbonation. Head looks pretty good, not super fancy. I mean, it looks like standard mass-produced craft beer. I guess you don't really call this craft anymore necessarily because they're owned by a much bigger company. It has a nice smell. It's definitely a mixture of old-fashioned IPA and new. The Mosaic in there, giving a little bit of a peachiness. Plenty of sea hops doing citrusy, sort of piney things. This reminds me a bit of Alchemist beers, actually, a little bit. And a pretty big aroma for, a widely distributed beer. Just a hint of toast, like well-toasted toast. But quite fruity and sticky and resinous smelling. Yeah, if I had this 10 years ago, I would be all about it, but Mosaic wasn't really available then. Very fruity, pretty bright. Sweet, sticky, resinous toastiness, for sure. Reminds me a lot of Heady Topper in some ways. Heady Topper might not have any black malt in it. This isn't too bitter from the first sip, and it finishes with some candy-like notes. And maybe there's a little bit of a red berry drink sort of thing coming through this, and it's almost like Kool-Aid, red Kool-Aid. It's not quite cherry, it's not strawberry, it's not blueberry exactly. Deep and spicy, very flavorful, not very boozy, pretty medium bitterness. Might be similar to Heady Topper's bitterness, so some Heady Topper batches, especially if you get it really fresh, can be quite bitter. The head is finally dying down, but nice and rocky. I don't know if I would guess that this was 9%. Except it is a pretty big sweet body. I mean, not huge, but it's not that boozy. It warms up the throat pretty well, though. I'm not upset that I got this. It's kind of a blast from the past IPA, but it's done pretty well. If you can get it fresh, I'd say it's worth it. There aren't any big problems with it. And it beats some of the Sierra Nevada double IPAs I've had for the past few years. Bye bye.